Hi, my name is Kevin. I am recording a video for the week 2 topic, which is Apple's role in the smartphone patent war. And I'm doing this as a part of IEOR 190G. So, the subject of my presentation today is going to be on the most recent events in the Apple HTC battle regarding smartphone patents. And most of the information in my presentation today will be sourced from the article which is titled Apple Scores Limited Victory in Smartphone Patent War. And this is an article that's published by Reuters. Just see the description below and there will be a URL. So here's the summary. On December 20th, the International Trade Commission ruled that HTC had infringed on one of Apple's patents. This patent that was the subject of the ruling relates to a technology that helps users click on phone numbers and other types of data in a document, such as email. So you might be reading an email with someone's phone number, and you can just directly click on that number, and it'll just let you, in one click, dial that number. So this was the patent that the ITC ruled that HTC had infringed on. So HTC now has until April before this ban takes effect. So this means HTC has time to change the feature on their products and make other corrective actions by April, or else they're going to have to face a ban on their sales of their phones that infringe on this patent. So while this doesn't have a serious impact on HTC just yet, there are a lot of people who are saying otherwise. There are analysts on Wall Street. For instance, one analyst is quoted as saying that this might have a negative effect on HTC's first quarter financial results because a lot of U.S. phone operators, and I'm guessing by that they mean Verizon and AT&T and so on, they'll worry about this injunction and they won't pull in inventory. They won't buy inventory of HT phones until these HTC phones are approved. And that makes sense because as Verizon or AT&T, I don't want to sell a phone if I know that there's a risk that in a couple months, say April, it's going to become illegal, essentially. That's sort of a waste of money. So I can understand why Verizon and AT&T might be worried about that. However, so my opinion of this whole event, personally, I feel like this situation is definitely good for Apple and bad for HTC. However, I'm a little bit unsure of the intentions of Apple in this situation. The patent that Apple claimed HTC had infringed upon seemed more like a software issue more than a hardware issue, because I feel like, of course, I don't know the technology that well, but it seems like something, this technology that lets you dial a number that's mentioned in an email seems more like a software thing than something that's based on hardware. I could be wrong. But for instance, I have a Motorola Droid that's about 1.5 years old, and that has the same feature. So it's a different hardware maker, but it's the same software maker, which makes me feel like software is the key thing to blame, not hardware. So that makes me feel that if Apple's biggest concern was stopping this patent from being infringed, wouldn't it just simply sue Google, the software maker, for all of these phone makers? Wouldn't it just simply sue Google, who makes the software for Motorola Droid, for Motorola, HTC, Samsung, so on and so forth? That's what I would think, but it seems like Apple is trying to sue just as many companies as it can, which seems very inefficient in terms of legal expenses because you have to pay for lawsuits for all these, 10 different smartphone makers out there. However, I guess there is some sort of strength in Apple's strategy, since this, in the long term, hurts the market share of all these other competing smartphone makers. And so, because if phone operators like Verizon and T-Mobile and AT&T start to hold back on carrying inventory of these other smartphone makers, then in the long run, this will help Apple. I believe in the long run, Apple's strategy is, it seems that it's less geared towards protecting their IP, but actually using their cash to grow market share. So this might actually be a smart move for Apple. I just feel like in the end, it's more of a business strategy than a legal strategy. Otherwise, that is all I have for today. But thank you very much for watching, and please let me know if you have any comments. Thank you.